Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Real. We are happy to have you here with us this morning. You could be anywhere else, but you decided to tune in to Build Your Best Life and Saturday Morning Real. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we thank you so much for always thinking about Build Your Best Life. We appreciate your prayers. And of course, we love, love, love when you comment, like, and share. So thank you so much for doing that. We greatly appreciate it. Well, you know, 2024 is all about your blueprint for success. You need that blueprint in order to get to that next level and have it to be what you would have it to be and what God would have the plans based on the plans that God has for you. This month of August, which is winding down, our theme is Blueprint for Next Level Learning, that next level learning. So as I did research, thinking about, okay, what's next level learning, you know, because it's not just about book learning. It's about wisdom, learning about respect, ethics, how to love yourself, all these different aspects of what you can learn to make yourself better. So I was like, okay, what is something else that's next level education? So I thought about what are the trends that we can look for in the next, I'll say 5 to 10 years. What is trending in education? What are those changes going to be? So that's what the topic is today, trends. And most of this does have to do with education, but I thought it was all very, very interesting. Everything that is going on has been created and will be moving forward in the future. So we're going to talk about some of those things now. Okay, the first one I know you're all familiar with is artificial intelligence. We began to see a lot of this during the pandemic because that was something that was so unexpected. It was like, well, what do we do for work? What do we do for school? People have to continue to learn what can be done. And people are always in the background working on that next new thing. So a lot of things that people were working on, they had to get them out quickly and launch them so that individuals would be able to work remotely and attend school remotely. So we got to see a lot of that artificial intelligence, what can be done from that computer, and looking at, different things that can be done online. We can research all these good things. But the trend part of that is, guess what? It's not something that we learned during the pandemic and it's going to go away. That artificial intelligence is going to get more and more intelligent. We're going to be learning different aspects of doing things different ways, more hands off, really. And I guess you say, why do I say we? Because if we want to stay abreast of what's going on in the world, if we want to be able to function, we have to stay abreast of what's going on. A lot of people say, well, I'll never pay a bill on a computer online. I'm going to write checks. I will never set up automatic payments. When my bill is due, I'll go down and I'll pay it in person. I'll use cash, or I'll send it checks in snail mail to make sure it gets there. But what's happening? Hey, if you're not online and paying that stuff with automatic drafts, or calling and getting it paid or whatever, you're way behind the times. And it is so efficient. And you don't have to have paper everywhere. So it is something that helps us, and we should want to stay on top of it. But that's one of the things in that next level learning. And this is not something that will say, oh, Coach Deborah knows all. No, Coach Deborah doesn't know all that. I research these things because I think they're important. Our young men, even our young ladies, everybody, our mothers, mentors, pastors, everybody that's going to be interactive with youth and others, you need to know this information. And we definitely want our young men to know it, because we want them to be the men that they need to be, taking care of their families, being respectful, taking care of themselves, doing things efficiently, timely, and all of that good stuff. So we definitely want to get this information out there. So I have to do a lot of research. So it's not that I know it all. Definitely not. So my next one is immersive virtual learning environments. Whew. What? Immersive virtual learning environments. So we get all of this stuff, like what's going on. Okay, so your augmented reality is just, he said, well, okay, what is that? That's all this 3D stuff that they have out there. And I only know this because I've seen my grandkids. One of them got, and I forget what you call it. I think it's Mega Quest. But they put on the goggles, and you've seen them on TV with them, and they put on the goggles, but they're not seeing what's really in front of them. They're seeing a virtual situation or scenario, so they can go through the jungle, they can fight, they can do karate, can do a number of different things. But with the augmented reality, it's that interactive experience, but it's on a huge level, and you're doing this on the computer, and it's 3D content. And why it is so relevant for our school age today is because it's one of the things, if you tuned in earlier this week and I was talking about, well, it might have been last week, but when I was talking about, people learn differently. So people have to teach differently to encompass all the different learning styles. So this technology here, it manifests our models and helps people who are visual, auditory, haptic, somasensory, and everything else. So no matter whether they are, what their learning style is, even if it's something that has to do with disabilities, this new technology is able to assist them. So they're kind of like almost on the same level as everyone else. And that is wonderful. That is something that, has been needed forever, forever, forever. So it's really useful. And if you just joined us, we're talking about trends that we will see in the next 5 to 10 years in the educational realm. And then we have VR. And with the VR, again, it's virtual. You're doing these things and it's virtual, but it takes into consideration all our senses. So again, the hearing, the seeing, the smelling, the touching, all of those sensories are in this virtual reality. Again, it's 3D. It's interactive. So you have the digital world and your physical world, and they'll melt it together to give you that bigger than life feeling and reaction when you're doing these different things. So the only limitations with that is in the programming. But again, it's in a virtual world. You have that headset, you have controllers, so you're controlling things, but it is all something that's very, very different, very, very different. And I just think that, it's just amazing if you look back. Who would have thought, it's augmented reality, virtual reality. It's just like, you think, well, you really think about it. You think about like, and it was right down the tip of my tongue and I forgot it. But what was the movie? I want to say it was Avatar, but I don't think that was the name of the movie where they were, I think, blue. Their skin tone was blue or whatever. But, they had a lot of that artificial technology that they used in that movie because you had the actual actors, but they had on some of these virtual items that assist them in looking different in 3D and the way we were seeing them and everything. So it is just truly, to me, amazing, all of these things that we do and are using and learning. Okay, the next one is neurotechnology and accelerated learning. Neurotechnology and accelerated learning. Okay, the first of these is BCI, which is brain-computer interfaces. So like, okay, the brain and the computer is talking now, or what in the world? And when I was researching, and one of the things that they said was one of the first, I guess, actual prototypes that they use with this functionality was something that Elon Musk and his team generated, which was the Neuralink experiment. So with those experiments, Neuralink, they were able to develop something where the brain is almost the let's say, talking to the computer. So I was reading this and it was just so interesting. They were saying, one day it'll be like you can sit there and it's like, okay, I need this page spell checked, and I'm thinking, and I'm not saying it. So I need this page spell checked, Grammarly on, or maybe Grammarly on. Grammarly does its thing without you having to say yes, no, Grammarly or something similar to Grammarly. Just does its thing, and then print, email. Wow, can you just imagine? But all of this, I'm talking education, and hey, Blueprint education at the next level. This is what our children, our grandchildren, well, probably not my children, but your children, my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and all will be doing all of this stuff. And time goes so swiftly that they will be doing more of this, because I'm pretty sure some of them, because they always do things in a testing mode, that there is someone out there that's already working with this. But our kids are going to be hands-on or brains on with all this technology. But that's neurotechnology with the brain and accelerated learning. Okay, and then it also said that one of the first places that this particular technology will be used is with those students with disabilities. And it will enable them to control devices with their thoughts. How next level is that? So you have that student, they were in an accident, they're not able to use their limbs. They can, sit there and they read and study, you get ready to take that exam. I don't know, blank or whatever. And it's giving them the ability to select the answers on the quiz. So they're not having to use, where they're not having to have someone else to do it for them. They would be able to test for themselves, even though they have serious disabilities. So that is just amazing. Again, that's next level. And it says that this will enhance their communication and take part in different learning activities so that they can, we have so much out there now. It's not just the arithmetic. It's not just reading English, but we have the technology, the science, the math, engineering. So we have all these things, and it really assists. So it's saying in 10 years, they could also be use this technology to understand the brain's learning process. Not just that your brain can think something it doesn't, but it can understand your learning process better, which could speed up your ability to get information, ingest it, and recall it and spit it back out. Next level. That's all I'm going to say. Next level. Okay. Our next one is AI-driven adaptive learning. So again, it has to do with artificial intelligence, but this is adaptive learning. So it says over the next 10 years, one of the most amazing effects will be the rise of personalized learning. So, I said that people learn differently. So some learn visually, some read, write, some auditory, some kinesthetic. So you have that teacher, and they have to be able to take that lesson and manipulate it in all those different ways to make sure that they're touching each child. It says there's a number of learners in both traditional and online classrooms develop this information all over the world. They will have access to these tools that will accurately assess their abilities, and then it will differentiate between the learning styles. Gosh, wow. So just imagine that. You got the teacher, they have the information, but those students have tools. The teacher got to have the tools as well. You have the information out there in these artificial intelligent systems. It's going to be able to take that information, relay it to your brain, your thought processes, understand your learning type, and then manipulate the information for you to get it based on your learning style. So this information is, if I'm visual, then I'm going to get what I need. If this person next to me is read-write, they're getting what they need. If this person over here is auditory, they're getting what they need. They may be, looking down or whatever, but they're still getting what they need. This is all amazing. I know, pretty sure it's probably a boring subject to some of you, but it is interesting to me because I work with children and I have grandchildren of all ages. So, from 27 to 1. So I got all these. So all of these are going to be learning, in these different technologies and processes that they are creating now to assist them. So it is just amazing to me that they can do this. And, it's much needed because, again, we are all different. We do things differently. We learn things differently. We comprehend differently. So the more custom tailored we can get information, the better for each person. Because you say, well, I can't afford to send my child. I can't afford to homeschool my child because I need to work. I can't afford to send them to tutors that will be hands-on, one-on-one. I have to send them to the classroom, but they need a little more attention. So what do? It seems like very soon we won't have to worry about that. We can be assured that our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren will get the type of information they need in a format that they can understand, that their brains can interpret, and everything's good. So that's just amazing. And the last piece is lifelong learning. I always talk about lifelong learning. That's my thing there. But, in my time, it was you got on a job and you stayed there. Before me, people got on jobs and they stayed. You might have started in the mailroom and you went up, or you started in a key position, you just stayed there. I was in corporate America for 41 years before I retired. But they say no more jobs for life. The current generation and generations going forward, they're not going to do that. The accelerating pace of how digital transformation is changing, is working, they have to constantly be on top of it. So they can't get one job and just be satisfied, because everything around them is going to be changing. If they want to be successful, if they want to move up, if they think there's no ceiling for me, I want to go as high as I can. I want to be productive. I want to help others. I want to do this. And hey, you can do and be whatever it is that you want to be. Well, guess what? Lifelong learning is going to be there. So it's not, oh, I became so glad when I finished high school. I'm so tired of school. No, you're going to have to continue to learn. Did you hear some of those terms that I was throwing out there? Tongue biters, So it's all this information, this digital information. It's going to help with education. So education will be different. They will learn differently. You may walk by some classes. Hey, science, you ever have to buy a book. Your teacher may have like different rocks or whatever, or a scale on the side that they made or purchased, or the planets or whatever. With this technology, you put on those headsets and you can see the planets, the stars. You can see just how far they are apart. You'll be able to see all of these things down in the ocean. You'll be able to really, really see what's down there, not what's in a book, but they will be able to have that technology that they can see down in the ocean. Can you imagine someone that wants to be, that's what they want to do as their profession, to go down and look for sunken treasure or lost ships, lost airplanes, study all of the species of fish and shells and plants that are down in the ocean. How amazing. They will have the opportunity to do this, and it's going to be continuous learning, and they will be able to start in school and learn so much more because of the trends that are happening now and the trends that they will see in the next 5 to 10 years. So this is not in a different lifetime. This is now. Like I said, this topic may have been boring for some, but I thought it was next level. Not to be funny, because this is next level learning, but I really, really, really thought it was next level. That was some interesting information to me. So I hope that this has helped someone, piqued someone's interest. You want to share this with someone. Hey, did you know this? Are you doing, because you never know who's doing this in some of the schools now. Like I said, they experiment before they, put it in every situation. So you may ask one of your kids, hey, you ever heard of this? You think they'll be doing this in your lifetime? Oh, Nana, we already do that. What? So you never know. So I hope that this is some information that you'll want to share with others so that they can know what to expect. And, this may, I know if I had a child in school and I knew this type of stuff was coming up, I would be trying to take me some courses now so I could be in the know as well. So please, please, please like this, share, give me some comments, your feedback, what you think about all of this different type of virtual learning, these brain neurological breakthroughs, and oh wow, just thinking something and the computer is able to do it. Next level learning. This is great. Thank you so much again for tuning in. It has been amazing. I love doing this. I know I do. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, please join us Tuesday for Blueprint for Success. That's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Tuesday, we have Blueprint for Success, and we have different guests on. On the 27th, next Tuesday, I have the pleasure of having as my guest Brittany Clark. She's been on here before, and Brittany is going to join me, and our topic is going to be Don't Settle. Don't settle. There's no reason in the world that anyone has to settle. Please tune in and hear our conversation. It's going to be life-changing, I know. And don't ever forget, just like you pray for us, we pray for you. And this year we are declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over all your lives. God knows the plans that he has for you. He wants you to have prosperity, not disaster. not all those pitfalls and rough terrain. He wants you to have prosperity, and he also wants you to have a future that you hope for. So please, please, please design your blueprint for success, your blueprint for success based on the plans that God has for you. Put in the work, check out the next level education, and build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, your Sunday. See you Tuesday. Bye-bye.